It was possibly the most exciting thing you could tell a young Steve as a boy. As my parents sat me and my siblings down on a couch one Saturday morning, they said, "Tonight, we are going to the drive-in." And I still remember the sense of excitement. I love movies now. I loved movies then. And we were going to the drive-in. And then just as I thought it couldn't get any better, they told us what movie we were going to see. A movie called Jurassic Park. Are you serious? I'm a young boy and I'm about to go to the drive-ins and see a movie about a dinosaur or dinosaurs escaping from a dinosaur park. Dreams do come true, and they were about to come true for young Steve and his siblings that night. And so I spent the rest of Saturday making sure Mum had packed enough snacks. I made sure that things were packed. Probably, if I could, I would have checked tyre pressure, making sure Dad's car was going to get us there. We were going to the drive-in. I probably paced the house for 6 hours straight, waited by the door, asked a billion times, "Are we going to go?" I was so excited. I didn't think there was any possible way this day could ever be ruined. But I was wrong. About 5 minutes before we go, there's a ring on the landline. Had we left earlier when I wanted to, probably 6 hours before that, we would have missed the call. But no, Dad picked up the phone, and although I couldn't hear mumbling on the other end, I could see on Dad's face he was getting some pretty hectic news. The hectic news was that friends of theirs had seen Jurassic Park that afternoon and were recommending to him that for me, and especially my younger siblings, this movie was not appropriate. It was too scary. And they thought they should let him know. How helpful. He got off the phone, and of course, we were no longer going to see Jurassic Park. And they tried to fix it. They tried to say we could get any movie we want from Video Easy that night. Anything, even new releases. But nothing could fill the void or the dinosaur-shaped void in my little boy heart. I was devastated. And I know it's a silly example. But it sucks not getting what you want. It sucks not getting what you want when you want it. It's even got worse, you'd think, in our modern era. It's almost a cultural sin to stop someone getting what they want, what they dream of, what they desire when they want it. It's kind of we had the Australian dream or the American dream. Well, our cultural dream right now is that you just get what you want as quickly as you can get it. And so when someone stops you, or if someone dares restricts you, or if someone dares offers accountability, these unsexy words like discipline, and then our culture just can't handle it. Yet, smack bang at the beginning of this prayer we've been discussing over the last few weeks, the Lord's Prayer, this transformative way that Jesus was showing his disciples, his students, he sees the world, he prays these words. God, Father, your will be done. Your kingdom come. Before he asks for anything, before he brings his request, before he even prays for others, he says, not what I want, but what you want, God. Showing this insanely powerful but hard, challenging, encouraging posture of letting God be the king of our decisions and life. Pretty heavy. If you've been a Christian for a while, you might be sitting there, yeah, for sure, I get that. Thank you for the reminder, Steve. I'll try to include that in my prayer. But maybe if you dare to be a bit more honest, or maybe you're still learning about this stuff, or maybe you won't even admit this to yourself. But I reckon there's a fair few as we look at those words, as we juxtapose them against our current culture's narrative about you getting everything you want. I think some of us go, I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe you don't have the trust built with God to know, hey, I don't know if what he wants for me is the best. I don't know, you might be saying to yourself. If that's you, then please don't switch off. In fact, I would say you're in the right place. If that's you, even if you're just not sure about some little things, or sometimes you're a bit shaky on that prayer of your will be done, God, because you're not sure, then I would say that's exactly what this whole thing's about. That's exactly what Jesus teaching his disciples his prayer was about. He was teaching them a way to practice. He was teaching them a posture to go after, to see, to taste, to experience. What do I mean? I mean, start with giving God your day before you give him your whole year. Start giving God your week, your month. I'm not saying test him at every moment. I'm saying see what he does. Build relationship. That's the point of prayer. Talk to him about these things and see what happens. Grow. This is not an overnight thing. This is not you watch a 5-minute video of mine and then all of a sudden you're handing everything over to God. I'm saying get to know him. See what he does with these things. See why he delays something. Some things will never make sense, but then you read about what he's doing, then you see some of the other alternative outcomes, and you realize, and you grow, and you realize who he is. You know, my dad, 6 months after the whole incident, went on a mission trip, and he was helping another country with some real practical things. He went with a team from our church. And we missed him, and he got back about a month later. I think it was about a month was the trip. And of course, we wanted to hear about all the experiences on the trip, but we were young kids, so we also wanted just our presents. As he'd been past a market on his way back, and we assumed that he'd got us stuff, or we'd hoped. And he gave everyone everything, gave my siblings some presents, and then he asked me to come into his room, and he wanted to give me something. And look, I don't know, I'm no lawyer. I don't know how copyright law works in different countries. What I do know is what he was about to hand me, you couldn't find on Video Easy that week at that time. But out of his bag came a VHS with the words Jurassic Park written on them. He'd seen it on this market on his way out. And over the next few nights, we watched Jurassic Park, just me and him, after my siblings had gone to bed. And you know, I don't tell you that story to tell you, oh, don't worry, you'll get what you want. No, not at all. I don't even tell you that story because some of you have not had that experience with your earthly father. I tell you that story because I learnt something about my dad through that experience. I learnt that when he said, wait. I learnt that when he said, not now. I learnt that when he seemingly held me back, there were reasons. I learned that he also cared for me. He didn't want to stop me doing things just for the fun of it. He didn't just want to torture me. He didn't want to just restrict me for the sake of it. He had a plan. He had good intentions. He loved me. And again, I know that may not be your experience of your earthly father, but I can promise you it will be your experience, and it is the reality of your heavenly Father, who loved us so much that he died for us through his son Jesus, who even had this moment before the cross and said, hey, there's another alternative, I'll take it, but your will be done, God. Went to the cross to free us. Went to the cross to save us. Went to the cross to pay the price. And the more you pray and explore and practice what we've been exploring the last few weeks, the more you make that as a part of your rhythm in your life, you will not get everything you want. I can promise that. And you will not get everything you want instantly. I can definitely promise you that. But you will grow in relationship with God. As you talk to him, as you pray for others, you will see prayers answered. You will see the world change for the better through your prayers and relationship with him. And you will 100% see your inner world change as you grow, become more patient and peaceful and hopeful As you grow in Him, you will grow to be like Him. This is the power of transformative prayer. And so, if you're sitting and watching this with others, or you're diarying, taking a journal, or you're just going to comment in the comment section below, then answer these questions. What have you learnt over this practice? When it comes to saying your will be done, is that challenging? Is that encouraging? How so and why? What does it look like to posture yourself even just a little bit as you grow in relationship to say, hey, your kingdom come, not mine? And what are you going to take from this practice into your life? What are you going to embed long after this season into your regular rhythm? Hey, thanks for joining us. Love to hear your thoughts, your reactions to those questions, and look forward to seeing you at the next practice.